Hello and welcome to the Everything is Black and White podcast on YouTube. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Andrew Musgrove here. I hope you guys are doing well. I've been off for a week, so I've been debating about what video to bring you upon my return to the office. And with the international break, it's a little bit difficult to come up with a topic that will get you guys involved, get you guys inspired, but I've come up with one which I hope you're going to get into the comments and let me know your thoughts. And it is quite simply, what do you want Newcastle United to achieve this season? And the options are top four football but miss out on silverware, or get that silverware and miss out on top four football. My family this week discussed this at length and various opinions, big debate going on. It's quite interesting because if it was this time last season I asked you this question, you would have said without question piece of silverware, League Cup, FA Cup, simply because Newcastle hadn't been in Europe for so long and no one expected them to be in Europe this season. So you want that, trophy drought to end, get the first cup through the door, and then you look to what you could achieve in the years to come and how quickly you could get into European football. As it was, Newcastle got to the League Cup final and then went on to secure top four football. So that changes things drastically for this season and for the answer to the question for this season. So top four football, no cup, but no top four football. In my head I've got my answer, but even though I know that, I'm kind of going back and forth in my head, and there's a good chance I might even change my answer before the end of the video. But as things stands right now, it's got to be top four football, hasn't it? Newcastle United have to achieve top four football above anything else. Now, I would love them to win a cup, I would love them to get to Wembley, I would love them to end that drought that's gone on since 1969. And for anyone that tells you that the Fairs Cup isn't a major trophy, they're wrong. It was. It was filled with some of the Europe's best teams. It is a trophy that Newcastle United rightly celebrate as the last major honour. Joe Harvey, fantastic manager. Bob Bunker, fantastic captain. Last Newcastle United captain to lift it. He will tell you just how big that title was. Now, that is a long time to go without a cup. We don't need to go over that because it pains me to count it up and see how many years it is. And it was wonderful to get to Wembley last year and very nearly end that drought. It just didn't happen. And like I said, you'd love it to happen again this season and go one step further and secure that trophy. But if it comes at the expense of European football next season, and I know you would get qualification to the Europa League, but it's not Champions League football. And if it was guaranteed Champions League football, but you don't get to Wembley with the FA Cup or League Cup, I'd take top four football any day of the week, simply because of the value it brings in. As Darren Neal said in the documentary with Amazon, it's worth what, 40 odd million bottom line, and then you've got all the revenue that comes with it and the exposure for Newcastle United to a massive global audience playing in Europe's elite competition, and the proposition that it presents to some of Europe's top players. Make no bones about it, Sandro Tonali would not be a Newcastle United player had Newcastle United not qualified for the Champions League, and that's really an important point to the answer to this question. Newcastle United need to secure top four football to keep the stars that they've got here happy, because they want to be playing in the Champions League, but also to make sure they can continue to build and add to the squad and add with the real quality. And without Champions League football, it makes that job a little bit harder. Now, of course, you're Eddie Howe. You want to win that first cup as soon as possible. You want to silence the critics, silence those who maybe think you're a bit of a stopgap to a bigger name in management. I don't think that is the case, by the way, but there are people out there, Simon Jordan for instance. You want to be the first manager to lift that cup at Newcastle since 1969. You want to do it as quick and as soon as possible. But I think if you ask him and you say it comes at the expense of European football, Champions League specifically next season, I think he would agree. You want Champions League, above anything else, because it's just so important. The nights there we've already had against PSG, it was unbelievable. The nights to come against Dortmund and Milan. Champions League football is a fantastic experience, and it provides the foundations for Newcastle United to build for the future. And I do wonder whether turning Newcastle United into an established top four side in which Champions League football comes every season is perhaps a bigger achievement than winning the FA Cup or League Cup, because in time that will come if you're qualifying for the top four every single season, because as I say, you'll be able to offer European football to Europe's elite players, and they will come to Newcastle United. You will then improve the squad depth, and you'll be able to go out and win cups like Manchester City, like Manchester United. But right now, I think it's fair to say Newcastle United can't do it on all fronts. They would love to. You would love it, wouldn't you? To go deep into the Champions League, to have a really good run in the FA Cup and League Cup, and win both, and secure top 4 football. But the squad depth's just not there. We've seen there against West Ham, you know, players carrying knocks and having to play just to fill a gap in the team. Players are injured, players are suspended. You know, these are going to build up as the calendar gets fuller and fuller. I mean, the run up to Christmas is going to be huge, and you're going to pick up injuries, and you're going to pick up suspensions, and players are going to be out of form. And the way to fix that, sorry to labour the point, get into the top 4 season after season, have the money there, have the attractive proposition of playing Europe's elite teams, you know, week in, week out, here at St James's Park, on the continent, bring in the right players, the best players, build the squad up, and then you can go and attack all, what will be 4 fronts, won't it? Champions League, Premier League, FA Cup, League Cup. That's what you need to do. That's why the Champions League is so important. And I really want to know what you guys are thinking. Champions League football next season, guaranteed, or Cup, and end the drought. It's a mark of how far Newcastle United have come in such a short space of time, because as I say, if I asked you about this question this time last season, I don't even think 2 seconds would pass before you say a cup, definitely a cup, and give us, you know, 8th, 9th, 10th. We'll celebrate the cup, because the scenes down in London were unbelievable, and you had so many people saying, well, imagine if they win a cup, what it's going to be like. And it will be some party, but some party up on here, it'll be some party down in London when that day comes, and it will come sooner rather than later. But as Newcastle United have secured top 4 football, and we're enjoying the experience, we're enjoying the adventure, they've signed players on the back of it who are only here because of it. You can't underestimate the value of the Champions League monetary wise, and what it means for the club and exposure and attractiveness to these elite players. So it's got to be the Champions League. Do you disagree? Do you agree? Let me know in the comments. But for me, it has to be the Champions League above all else. Some people will say, well, why can't we go out and attack the competitions, every competition? And again, I would love to do it. But you just feel Newcastle United just maybe haven't got enough. And if they do it, and I would love to be proved wrong, they'll be doing it, you know, on adrenaline. They'll be doing it, you know, really busting a gut. They'll be working their socks off, and you will see some tired players. But hey, miracles are there to be made, aren't they? Miracles are there for Newcastle United to make them. Why not? Why not? Secure top 4 football, win a cup, and go deep into the Champions League. We can be wishful, I think, because I don't think it's going to happen. Not for the want of trying, but I just don't think they've got the squad to do it. But let me know in the comments your thoughts. Would you like Newcastle United, if guaranteed European football, top 4 football? So let me say that again, because I got a bit mixed up there. If you could guarantee Newcastle United's top 4 football, Champions League next season, sacrifice the cups this season, would you? Or if you could guarantee Newcastle United a piece of silverware, the FA Cup, the League Cup, but you miss out on the top 4, would you take that? Let me know in the comments. I've been Andrew Musgrove on a lovely sunny October day here in Newcastle City Centre. It's a pleasure to be back, pleasure to bring you this video. Hit subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and let me know in the comments your thoughts. This video means nothing unless you guys get involved. Thank you very much, and we'll see you guys very soon.